Rotterdam Junction above Lock 9. We stopped to take a look at these concrete barges. US 107. And behind it, it looks like 109. You can see what it looked like. That's 107 when it was brand new. So I want to see how much I can see of these. Get an idea of the thickness. You see it's all done with rebar. We just pull up here. And my wife was surprised, even though she's seen them before. And she thought that they made like a concrete dock and just made it look like a boat. And I'm like, no, those were actual boats. They sunk them here to use as the approach wall. She goes, and then they concreted them? And I'm like, no, they were concrete to begin with. And I showed her boat 107 when it was brand new, and she don't believe me. So by the time the Barge Canal opened in 1918, there wasn't hardly any boats left from the old canal, because the state had strung the canal is along for so long, they didn't feel very confident in building any more boats. They didn't even know if there was going to be a canal. So then Teddy Roosevelt came along, and he got the best engineers together, and they designed this Barge Canal. And then as it was opening, World War I came. So that's where these come into play. They were quick to build and relatively cheap. So yeah, there's 3 of them. And they weren't very sturdy boats. You could carry quite a bit on them, I guess, but if you bumped into anything, you'd get cracks. So anyways, when these were replaced, they lined them up along a couple of these locks on the Barge Canal that shares the Mohawk River as approach walls. So that's Lock 9 right there. Just above Lock 9 are these 3 in a row. And there's one, at least one below the lock too, I'm not sure. Go take a look at that. Now the movable dam, the plate's already pulled up. So the water's much lower than it normally is during the season. During the season, this will all be underwater. You can see where the trees are is the normal shoreline. So it's quite a bit lower on this upper end than it is normally. It's a little sloppier than I thought it was going to be. You see all these rocks, it was a little deceiving. It's still mushy. I just got stinkers in it. Now that I get a little further, I see I'm not going to be able to cross right there. I was planning on crossing over there to see what this other boat number was. US 120, US 109, and US 107. Just above Lock 9 in Rotterdam Junction. The movable dams are up, so the river's back to its natural depth. In less than 2 months, those plates will be down, and this level will be so high you won't even be able to see these. Might be a little bit on the top sticking out, I can't quite remember, but all of where I'm standing is well underwater. You can see the shoreline right there. I was hoping to be able to get over to this far western one, 120, from a distance. It looked like I was going to be able to go across right there at that shallow point where the water's rushing, but not without getting pretty wet. It has a lot to do with the old Erie Canal. And the state, they were working on doing another enlargement in the 1890s. But that ran out of money a couple years. So in between the mid 1890s and when the Barge Canal was approved, nobody knew what was going to happen, so nobody was building boats. So once the time it did open, which kind of doesn't make sense to me, 1918, they had a good 10-15 years to work on getting some boats. But anyways, they needed some in a hurry, and these were relatively cheap and quick to produce, could carry a lot. As you see, they have the limitations. You bump into anything with those, and it could be catastrophic. There. Now I got a better look at this. See, they got a lot of rebar in them. There's only 2 of those movable dams, the bridge dams, that you can drive over. And this is the first one. The other one is that Lock 12, Tribes Hill. But we're here to look at these concrete barges. World War I era. Now the state, they spent a ton of money on this improved Erie Canal, which was also known as the Barge Canal. Once it opened, 1918, there was hardly any boats for it. Just old canal boats. So concrete boats, barges, were built. So they didn't last real long. I don't think they were used very long at all. But to get rid of them and to repurpose them of sorts, they were used as approach walls at the river locks. That's the locks in the Mohawk River that have the movable dams. So this is 107, US 107. You can get an idea how it's built. We got a lot of glare here. So they were just filled up with rocks and sunk. And apparently they put some bollards on there. The insides of them look like they're in a little bit better shape. So there's US 109, and just behind it is US 120. There's not much I can do from here now. So I'm gonna go back down. Problem is, I was just thinking, when I got up here, I wasn't thinking about getting back down. I don't think it's gonna be as easy. Well, I'm gonna have to jump. That wasn't so bad. I just used the rebar to hold on and work my way down. So I think I'm done here. There's nothing I can do over there. I'll go check out what number that is on the other side. I don't know if I've ever thought of checking out all the numbers. Lock number 9, but we don't care about that.
Oh, are these just gonna fall? Mom.
When the sun goes down, you know where I'll be with a case of good time